get ready with me. Okay, just a little something, something before I get ready for one of my daily lives. So, I just started growing my locks about 2 years ago now, and I color treated, and I do like a style here or there. And I really, really have noticed that my hair does the best when I keep it moisturized. And my regimen of spraying my hair with water and then following it up with Fab Hair International's Moisture Mist leave-in conditioning spray, girl. Listen, it's giving me everything that I need as far as the moisture on a daily basis is concerned. I've tried a lot of sprays and I really, really enjoy not only the way the spray bottle works, but also the way the hair feels moisturized after I've given it a spritz. There are so many great Fab Hair International products to try. And the Stimulate and Soothe Deep Cleansing Shampoo is one of my favorites. It actually gives your scalp a tingling sensation that makes it feel really, really clean. And then the Moisture Mask Deep Conditioning Mask is really amazing as well. Make my hair feel really, really moisturized after I had color treated it. The products are great and were created by a Black woman stylist who came from behind her chair to give her people the products she felt they really deserved. Fab Hair International is for all curls and coils, whatever your hair type. You can find something at Fab Hair International that will suit your specific needs. Right now, you can use my code Bondy15 to get 15% off of your purchase. Go to fabhairinternational.com, take their hair quiz, and find out which products will be perfect for your hair. Be a bougie traveler and shop fabhairinternational.com. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Not come on in. Not come. Sorry, y'all. Y'all know I'm weird. Whatever.
Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl Bondy Blue. So let's go ahead. Let's go ahead. Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl Bondy Blue. Okay, follow me on Instagram and let's get into the video, right?
Hey, I'm here. What's up, girl? What's up? How y'all doing? I'm back for another recap review. This is normally a members only, okay? But because girl, I'm gonna be real. I need the money, okay? They this month your RPM is a little lower, okay? And y'all know how every now and again I throw y'all one of these members onlys, just to get people to know what's going on behind my paywall, right? Because Love and Marriage Huntsville fans are crazy. And so, girl, I like to keep my shit behind the paywall as to not deal with the crazy folk, okay? Listen, I I'm holding on to to something that I had added yesterday, a video I added and I wanted to use it. I hope I get the opportunity to use it today. Um, but anyway, also, before we get into Belle Collective, because I'm gonna start with Belle Collective. And listen, you don't have to know these shows, right? You don't have to know these shows, but just walk with me. You know what I'm saying? Just walk with me. That's all. Um, and we'll be back with the Ooh Ladies First panel tonight as well on Nisi's channel. She has something going on Thursday, so we will have an early show this week. So tonight, all right, be looking for my girl. The Ooh Ladies First panel will be back. And then tomorrow I'll give y'all Married to Medicine and we'll do another Bondy Blue show. That's the prayer. That's what I'm hoping for, girl. Okay. Now, another thing. A lot of y'all were trying to send me money to my Cash App. I think I fixed the problem. So, if y'all want to try to send Cash Apps during this show, that would be great. That way I can see if it's actually working again. That would be amaze balls. Okay. Also, if you are planning on getting a ticket for the Ooh Ladies First Panel live show May 2nd in Atlanta, wait a second, okay? Because we're going to come with another link, okay? Some, shit we need to get done. So we have to switch over from Eventbrite to another vendor. And so once we do that, we'll give y'all the link and, we'll talk to y'all about that then. But just hold off if you was planning on it. If you already got one, you good. Don't worry about it, okay? We got you. All right? Um, Girl, Belle Collective. Belle Collective, right? Okay, so if you don't know about Belle Collective, these are the bells. Okay? If you're new here, right?
Oh, also forgot. Like, please don't forget, like, if y'all like coloring books and puzzles, please check out the QR code up here. See, where's the QR code? Girl, it's right there. Hit up that QR code, okay, and get some of my merchandise because it's cute. And the community is not okay. All right. We have to keep talking about this. All right. The community needs to be okay. They're not though. They're not. And Belle Collective is a show that is very, very like the community is not okay, right? The community is not okay on Belle Collective for a plethora of reasons, but right now, main issue, Leticia Pearson and her husband. Okay? Now, if you have not watched this show, then you don't know about Leticia Pearson and her husband Glendelle. Okay? He is a Boosie lookalike. And if you are a Southern woman, or if you know anything about fuck niggas that get certifications so they make good, they make good money. They got a good job. You know what I'm saying? If you know about these men's, girl, okay, we gonna take a little walk. All right? Because I saw y'all in the comments. Y'all said, I don't know these people. I said, okay, girl, word. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, girl. Let me scoot this to the top so you'll know what we're here for. And then let me share my screen so y'all can see what's going on. Okay. So let me move this over here on my side. All right, let's move it on my side. Okay. This right here is Leticia Pearson. This is the 7th season of Belle Collective. She's supposed to be the head, the Belle in charge. She presented a storyline to us that I don't believe is true. I would really love for her to come to the front and explain herself. How are you going to pay for Ferry Street? Because that's what she wanted to do. Season 1, she wanted to buy up properties on a historically Black street. And, she was getting all of these problems. And then as soon as she couldn't get it done, then she just stopped trying to get it done. And then it had another, Akeisha came in, and Akeisha was able to do what Leticia didn't do. And it kind of made it seem like, well, girl, we know Akeisha family already had property down there, but Akeisha went and got more property down there. So if Akeisha could do it, why couldn't you do it? And we just was like, okay, wait a minute. Leticia ain't got no money. Leticia got a little bit of comfortable Mississippi money, but she don't have, I can go and purchase land and businesses money. And the TV show was supposed to fake the funk until the funk could be made real. Okay, that's what was supposed to happen. But here we are, season 7. And the last episode, which was a members only review, okay, you can be a member of my YouTube channel, my website, bondyblueshow.com, or you can be a member of my Patreon. All the links are down below in the description box, okay? If you're a part of that, we've already talked about the fact that Leticia came to us last episode to tell us that Glendelle, her husband, would not allow her to have her own bank account. Mind you, this is 2026. This was recorded in 2025. That's still the future. Like, I'm too focused to explain myself. Just judge me. Because I was hurting and hustling at the same time. I still ain't let shit stop me. Right? She's selling you a story, girl. She's going through it. And she's persevering. All right? Selling you a story, girl. All right? Keep me different, Lord. I don't mind the pressure. Okay? Listen. Pressure makes diamonds, bitch. Abuse me. Okay? Listen. And the thing about women that are in abusive relationships with men, and I'm talking about psychological abuse. I don't know why every time we say abusive, people automatically assume you mean physical. I don't put anything past anybody, but for me, it's more specifically psychological abuse that does the most harm. And I be feeling like because women believe in love the way that they do, they are often being like psychologically abused by men that know that love is not really a real thing. Yes, they can be attracted to you. And when I say a real thing, I mean, they like, if you notice, most men don't show up in the same way. Some do, but most men do not show up in the same way. And it is because they cannot love something that they hate. They can't love something that they've been taught is the antithesis to themselves. You know what I mean? Like, think about it. How are you gonna like women for real, if you grow up being groomed by society and the men around you to view them as just bodies to control and, people to try to manipulate and get around? And you better make sure that, she love you more than you love her so that you could, dog her out and she'll stay, because that's the most important thing, is that they find a woman that'll stay throughout all of the ups and downs. But bitch, you better not do any of the same shit to them that they do to you. There are women that get their cash back and these niggas stay. Please don't get me wrong. But the overall messaging that we see is men can make mistakes, do whatever they want to do, and women just have to be there waiting on them to figure it out, which is abusive. And it positions women as if they have no autonomy, as if they're not full humans, as if they're subhuman, as if they're children or something, but they can't have their own, autonomous things going on and have a relationship with a man, because a man is going to feel like everything needs to be about him. That shit is weird. And I thought we were getting past that, especially because, again, 2025, bitch. And she came up there and told us that she didn't have her own bank account after how many seasons of this show, saying that she had to get on her mom's credit card to build up her credit. Y'all, that's why we're here to talk about this, because I could not fucking believe that in this day and time we're having shit like this going on. Or we have a situation where women are willing to perform being more docile than they actually are, so that they can eventually get the money they need to divorce the nigga. I don't know, girl. I don't know what's going on, but let's look at this video right here.
Spring break. You up there trying to get his go-kart.
Oh yeah, I'm a winner though. Even if I got a cheeky little kid, I'm a winner. I'm a winner. I'm a winner.
And with everything going on, we was like, girl, why is you up here showing us that y'all still together? And because it just makes us think that the show is fake, right? Every season, they have an issue in their marriage. And then once the season is done, we see them together, hugged up. We're trying to work it out. I love him. He love me. But every season is something else that will cause you to want to leave this nigga. And so then it becomes, a game or a show, again, a performance. And I think we're getting tired of that. There are enough people that are being mistreated in real life that y'all could capture without us having to be hyper-focused on people like Leticia Pearson that like to create drama where there is none. If you want to be, if you want to be a Belle bitch, right? If you want to be an old Southern lady that's being taken care of by an ain't shit ass nigga, then by all means, girl, do it. But stop pretending as if you are this businesswoman with all of this shit going on, but you still can't tell your nigga to just get out your face. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes when your nigga, and like sometimes y'all get into it, and we live in this society. So I'm sure most women have experienced their man wanting them to do something, and you like, nah, I don't want to do that, or I want to do this. And then y'all clash over it. But it's your responsibility as the woman to, cooperate and maybe bend to the man's will, especially if he bitches a fit about it, right? You have to get to a point when you're like, okay, well, I'm going to do this and you can do whatever you want to do. The other person that needs to get to that place in their life is Kimmy. We're going to get to Love and Marriage Huntsville. But Kimmy specifically, you need to get to this place where you can look at the man and say, you know what? If you think another person will treat me better than you, you probably right. You are absolutely right. And I hope I am able to find that, with someone else. I hope I am. You don't argue with them. You don't fight them, because the point of them even saying shit like that is to get you to chase, to get you to be like, no, well, why don't you want to be with me? We should be trying to work this out. No, bitch. They love that. That's what they want. And the object here is, if you're trying to get the man to do what you want him to do, which is, stop emotionally manipulating you because it's fun for him, then you have to stop having strings that can be pulled. You have to start cutting the strings. So if there is a string that he can pull, I might cheat on you if you don't give me sex every day. Cut it. Cheat. Do what you want to do. Oh, you don't want to work on a problem? You want to just, oh, I could probably find somebody better because you don't want to be forced to change and work on a relationship and give an adequate amount. Oh, really? Okay, well, fuck it then. Divorce. Let's file for divorce then. Let's go ahead and just get her done. But see, because they know they're with women that are too scared to do that, they will keep pulling your strings. And that's where the psychological and emotional abuse comes from. Because what does that actually feel like to be in a relationship with somebody that knows all they have to do is pull some strings and they will get you to dance? It's so emotionally disingenuous to be in a relationship with somebody that would be using your emotions like that. And men are groomed and trained by other men around them, by their friends, by the older men that helped them, as they came up. They are really taught how to play with women's emotions because women are emotional. They learn how to manipulate your emotions as children, tiring you out, right? A nigga will ask you the same thing over and over again. They will play all of these little games that until you go through it with a number of them or you go through it repeatedly with the same one, you won't really recognize that they're actually doing something intentional in order to get a certain response. People used to call it the Jedi mind trick. Okay? So women have to learn how to cut the connections to the Jedi mind trick. Yes, it is coercion. And that's why, like, a lot of women, and I had to wake up to this myself. A lot of women don't realize how much coercion goes into the relationships that you have. And how much do you really want to be there with a person if you're being coerced to be there? And why do niggas want you to need them versus want them? Like, why? Why? Because they want to be able to control you. Well, why is that? Because they're immature and insecure. Well, why don't we just heal that? Because that's too hard. Apparently, it's much easier to just play with your emotions because you're going to actually do shit. So it's easy to just manipulate you and pull your strings and get you to do the shit that they don't want to do. That's what it seems like to me. Okay. But this was her out and about with him, and she knew people were going to have something to say, which is why, the caption is meanwhile it's spring break and we're about to make sure Joshua has the best break ever. When what we do understand is niggas will use these children to get close to you. They will use the children so that they can mac on you, right? Y'all all go out, have a good time as a family. And then as soon as, they think y'all didn't had a really good time, then here they come with whatever it is they really want from you. And then as soon as you say, well, I'm like, we had a good time, but that don't mean that. Then they mad. And so then there's this coercive thing. If you want the energy to just stay, fine, if you want to keep the peace, right? She even said that, how much she keeps the peace in their relationship. And I feel like that's basically what she does. And that's coercion. That's coercion, keeping the peace. Because I'm going along because I am literally in my body afraid of, or not even afraid, but physically do not want to have a tiring argument with you. I think that's a lot of the time. Like, it's not that women are scared. It's that they're tired. Like, you're overworked as it is, or you're, just a lot going on. I don't want to have to argue with you about every fucking thing. And men know that. That's another wear down tactic. Keep arguing with you about stupid shit. Okay? Yeah. So that's one of the reasons why I still talk about these people down to the Belle Collective, because I feel like they absolutely display problematic pick me behaviors in these relationships and friendships. Like, for instance, one of the main things going on this season is that Leticia and Latrice are beefing. Now, these two have been, really close throughout most of the seasons of the show and have together done shit to other people, like go and get evidence on people. So, for instance, the very first or second season, I think that Latrice and Leticia went and got information on Marie. Then Leticia and Marie went and got information on Tamara. Then Leticia and Latrice tried to come together to start that shit with Akeisha, right? Make it seem like Akeisha and her family was acting a fool down to the restaurant, to the lounge, when we know that's not really what happened, right? Trying to put some shit on Willie. Yeah. all of that shit. So when Latrice is on the show talking about how Leticia is always keeping shit going and always doing weird ass shit behind the scenes, she's absolutely right. Leticia views herself as the one that's in charge of making sure that this show is still working well. And the problem with that is that you really should be focusing on your personal life. You should be focusing on being in control of your personal life, making sure that you are okay whether this show is on TV or not. But instead, you get to misdirect the energy that you're supposed to be putting into yourself in your own relationship, meaning that you need to be breaking up with that nigga and finding some self-esteem, right? You need to be doing that. The show should have been showing you do that, but instead it watches you go back and forth with this man because you never really want to break up with him, because what's most important is that some man wanted you. That's what's most important at all times, okay? And so Glendelle can then come in and out based on how comfortable you are. If you're really comfortable in a relationship, he can go and fuck up. If you are on the verge of maybe stepping out or doing something else, then now he's all home and calling you 25 times in the hour and all of that shit. Girl, all of these niggas, they use the same playbook. They use the same playbook, okay? Glendale is mad that Leticia doesn't want to have sex with him. And he says, stop playing with him. Okay, I'm the only one that's being totally honest here, and I'm just tired of this. And you know what? I gotta take care of myself. I gotta do for me, because if I don't do for me, then I can't take care of nobody else. And she was just on the phone. Okay. And it's annoying, right? Because you've heard niggas have conversations like this, right? Men are not that smart. I know men think that they're very, very smart, but what I've noticed most about social media is that women will, like, collectively analyze their relationships, what they've gone through. They will watch other women talk about the relationships they've been through, and then we'll collectively come up with language to talk about the things we've been through and the type of relationships we've had. That's why we start talking about, the patriarchy and narcissism and misogyny and all of that. Things that we may not have necessarily been talking about in the same way. But right now, we have the language to really talk about what we go through in relationships and what is expected of women to be servants all the time and getting sacrificing our lives and shit for people all the time. Like, we're expected to constantly be in a servitude role when it comes to men. Okay? And so when we finally get the language to talk about that, the niggas listen to us talk about it and then copy and paste the shit that we say and then act like it's the same thing that they're going through. And sometimes that is so fucking annoying. It's so annoying, y'all. I mean, because that's exactly what Glendale did to her on the phone. So it's an old school problem. You want sex, she not feeling you, so she don't want to fuck, and now you're upset having a temper tantrum. That's an old school problem. Your new school way of manipulating her is to act like her not giving you sex is her not being honest with you. You're actually being honest after years of you cheating and lying, and just last season trying to fuck one of her friends because you were DMing that girl. I don't care what you're talking about. You was DMing Manda. You was trying to see what Manda was about. You was trying to see if Amanda disliked your wife enough to fuck you. And I think she did. I think something actually did happen. They swore up and down they ain't never fuck. I don't believe them because Amanda was too emotionally invested. You got the dick. To me, Amanda was so emotionally invested in trying to spray him. It was absolutely given. You got the dick, girl. Okay? Only when you get the dick do you get all upset like that. Okay? Yeah, y'all. Just in case y'all didn't know what was going on, which I was going to explain it to you. Okay? I was going to let y'all know in case y'all had not seen this show. All right? So what else happened? He got to go take care of himself. Weaponizing the language that women have created in order to talk about their experiences as the oppressed sex against them in order to try to manipulate them into giving you sex. Like, that shit is, oh my God. Girl, the way a man will weaponize his motherfucking mama dying, you know that, that's why it's so hard to believe, like, at large that y'all actually, like, love women versus it's just, like, an easier situation, which is why it annoys me when everybody, oh, she just wanted him for money. No matter who it is, y'all will always try to devalue why a woman was with a man by making it seem like it was just about money, as if that's not a good enough reason. Y'all do all kind of flaw ass shit for money. Now being with a man for money is all of a sudden like, oh my God, I can't believe you got with a man for money. But yeah, I was willing to sell out my family for a little check. Yeah, I was willing to tell everybody business down to the Facebook for free, girl, just for a little clout. Just to see everybody talking about me for 2 days on Facebook, girl. Absolutely, I was willing to tell my family business and all of that shit. Yes, girl. It's weird. It's weird, the double standards that go on, girl. So Carrie, y'all. Carrie is one of the new girls. We like Carrie. Okay? We like Carrie. We also like her husband. They have I like them, but they give a sort of a Mimi Steve vibe. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. I really like Carrie. I like the fact that, Matt is a peacemaker and all of that. But y'all, I don't know. Like every time I hear like these little small moments of misogyny that slip out of men's mouths, like when her mom brought the food to the house because, "Oh, I know you working so much and I know you don't get a chance to cook, so let me bring some food." And then it becomes why is Carrie, the wife and mother, not cooking home cooked meals for her family? And then her husband is in the background like, right? That type of shit. Like I don't know why, but it's like those little moments like that that make me look at their relationship like, yeah, y'all cool, but what the fuck was that? You know what I'm saying? Like I always feel like those little small things are an extension of other bigger things that we're just not being, privy to. But I think I don't like that. I don't like when men get into like relationships with women who they know are not cooks or clean. These women make money. That's what they do. Hire somebody to do it. Matter of fact, nigga, you do it. You can't cook? Child, as misogynistic as my pa was, that nigga enjoyed cooking a meal. Oh my God. We had some of the best, like that's why I have such an elevated palate. Because my daddy was like, if he was a person that could have done what he really wanted to do in life, I think my daddy would have been a chef. And I think he would have been a really good chef. And I'm kind of annoyed that he did not try to become one. I guess because, the restaurant business, the bar business, all of that shit is stressful. And he had a bar at one point, and I guess that was enough. But I still felt like that nigga should have went to culinary school because the way my daddy would be trying to figure out new shit to cook and would come up with these really great recipes or just would go and sit, by Dookie Chase or, go sit by Pampy's or somewhere and just be around people and pick up on what they was cooking and stuff like that and then recreate it at home. Like it was something he really, really enjoyed cooking. Like in a lot of male like chefs, like the biggest chefs in the world are men. So it's like weird to me how y'all think we get there. We get there because women are not the only people that can cook and prepare food. And so whenever men are like pushing this thing on women that you need to be able to cook, like I get annoyed. Cause I feel like cooking should be something that's done when you like it, when you enjoy it. It should not be done when you don't want to do it like that. Like you gotta eat, you know what I'm saying? But if one person enjoys cooking more, that's who should cook. And if we both don't like to cook, I guess we got to flip a coin sometimes. And then other times we can, maybe get people do all kind of shit now. If there's a chef in your city that you like, then people be doing meal preparing and all kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I knew somebody that used to do meal preps and all of that for people. And that shit take a lot of time. People be paying out the ass for that shit though. And I can see why. You could go down to the grocery store and get you a pre-made meal. Y'all don't have a grocery store that y'all really like that make pre-made meals? Girl, because we stay going down to the Rouse to see what's on the hot bar if I don't feel like cooking. Like this shit is just not that hard, right? Like in 2025, 2026, it is not hard to get somebody else to get you a nourishing, well-prepared meal without you having to do it. This shit is not that hard. And I just wish that, like, we would get out of that. So when Carrie and Matt come on screen sometimes, I don't exactly know how to feel because I know Carrie is a performer. Carrie is about her image. A lot of this is about pushing their business to the forefront, which I am happy about. But I also look at their marriage sometimes like there's too much performing going on. I like y'all. Too much performance, right? Because Carrie has to tell us and run it back to Matt about how it was Hurricane Treese and Hurricane Leticia, and then it became what it was. What she called it, y'all? The Latricia, Hurricane Latricia. Yeah, she said it was Hurricane Latricia. And to me, another thing I was picking up on in the conversation is that it seemed as if the fight that Latrice and Leticia got into last episode was worse than what we thought. They got into it. They was going, they've been going back and forth for a while now, Brian. But Latrice is really taking it to hell. And I'm not mad at her about it, but I do wish that she would learn how to deal a little bit better. Like, she the one that's gonna yell bitch first. She the one that's got 11 people with her to jump Leticia. And I know Leticia is aggravating because she is a liar, and she will sit there and gaslight you and then do it with this very, I don't know why you doing this to me, Latrice. Like, I get it. But I also feel like I want Latrice to calm the fuck down, because when Leticia was doing all of that weird ass shit, a lot of the times you was right beside her doing it. And even if you decided later on that, enough is enough, the way you handle it, as if it's as if you never did the same shit that Leticia was doing. It's as if you didn't go and dig up shit on people on the show. You've done it too. So, like, just calm down a tad bit. Do y'all want the show to continue or what? How long y'all gonna drag this out? Then when the lady come, we're gonna talk about it at the end of the episode, but you crying. So it gives, you really are still emotionally invested in y'all's relationship. And if that's the case, then bitch, like, stop being hard and have a conversation and see if y'all can move past it, or stop being angry with her and just move differently. A lot of times, like, just move differently, girl. It's not that hard. So, yeah, Carrie says that they got into it. Matt and Carrie feel like the friends and Glenn were stirring the pot. And that's another thing I felt like they didn't really show us, was that they felt like Glenn was stirring the pot. And I feel like that makes so much sense, because Glenn really wanted to use that as an opportunity to show Leticia that she needs him, right? And if all of these girls are, and shit, I almost feel like this is the reason why he might be trying to cheat on her with Amanda, knowing that Amanda don't like her. This would give, like, in some way, I think he knows that cheating on her is a way to make it about him. And in this situation, he still was able to make it about him, because all he had to do was come to her rescue with a whole bunch of weird bitches and kind of elevate the situation while still acting like he's the savior. And now she's like, oh, Glendelle, I'm so appreciative of you, Glendelle. I'm glad she's still not fucking him, but I also don't believe her. I don't be believing Leticia, y'all, because Leticia lies. And Leticia play in your face every season about her relationship and make you think she gonna leave this man and get some fucking self-esteem. And then here they come next season talking about we working it out. Come around here with a big belly talking about you ain't know what you was supposed to do. Come on now. But anyway, Carrie is still feeling a way about her business. She has 3 restaurants, but one of the restaurants she opened in Mobile is not doing that well. She's from Mobile. She really wanted that restaurant to work out, but under the current state of, everything, it just may not be working out. Mom and pop places, small business owners, even when people own 3 restaurants, that's still technically a small business owner. And it reminds me of the Reagan years. The first people to get hurt, when you have a terrible president, is the people that own small businesses. Like, the corporations are the ones that are lobbying to make it harder for every regular person to own businesses. And this is why I always suggest people traveling. And I know right now everybody is like, y'all traveling and all of this. And I'm like, listen, bitch, I would happily get stuck in Thailand. I figure it out, girl. I got direct deposit. My check should still be coming to me either way. Ain't like I gotta wait at the mailbox to get my check, girl. Okay. But the reason why you need to go out of the country is because you need to see how other places work. For instance, when I was in Bali and in Thailand, it's so many mom and pop places, right? And sometimes those places actually become famous because they really do, whatever they do well. But essentially, you see an economy full of people that live there owning businesses there. And I mean, every other, every place you see is owned by somebody, even if they all selling the same shit. Every place is owned by somebody that lives in this area or this community. And how big box stores and corporations come in, they ruin that. They completely ruin regular people being able to have businesses and control their own lives. Having to work for other people means that you can't control when you get up and how you work and all of that. When you have your own business, you can pretty much dictate how shit works for you. And see, the American government and them do not like that. They do not like for you to be able to take care of yourself without working for them. They don't like that. So they lobby against it. And that's how Walmart and all of that comes in. And now mom and pop stores don't exist in some places anymore. A lot of small places in the country, all they got are, big box corporation places. They can't afford to have businesses in their areas. That's crazy to me. But if you go to other countries, you realize that it's not like that, that they haven't allowed corporations to come in and buy up all of the fucking property and make it hard for the regular person to own a business and live their life in peace and take lunch breaks and naps in the middle of the goddamn day if they feel like that's what they need to do. I'm going to be closed, but the one down the street will be open during those hours. Like, girl, can't wait to go to Thailand. Sitting up there, y'all still traveling? Yes, the fuck I am. And I do pray that if anything happens, y'all will try to help me get back home. I don't give a fuck what anybody talking about. I'm supposed to be able to leave and come back. I'm supposed to be able to leave and come back, y'all. And if something happens while I'm gone, well, that's not my fucking fault. Y'all supposed to help. Okay? You don't have to, but if you want to, you know what I'm saying? It's supposed to be community, bitch. I just saw a video of Tokyo Vanity going off about why y'all keep fucking going over there. And it's like, ma'am, a lot of people got stuck over there when nigga was talking about we not going to war with Iran. People was going back and forth to Dubai like it wasn't fucking nothing because nobody expected this to happen. And now people over there like suffering because our government is doing weird shit. And y'all on the internet like, that's what y'all get. What the fuck be wrong with y'all? Talking about that's what y'all get. What? No, that's not what people get, girl. No, no. Like, no, girl. That's not how that's supposed to go. We are supposed to be able to leave and come back. The fuck? In all of the time that we've been alive, Americans as a whole have always been able to take their little passport, go wherever the fuck they want to go, and come right back. Yes, girl. You supposed to be able to leave and come home. You are. You are. Okay? So I'm going out there. Y'all pray for me. I'm going in April. Hopefully by the time we get to April, some of this shit will have worked out and all of that. But I gotta live my life, girl. I don't know. Y'all want me to be stuck here in America feeling scared and shit? Thank you, Cece, for the super chat. What's cracking, my girl? Just showing love. It's been a minute. And I agree that Glenn and Amanda smashed. Thank you, Cece, girl. And I think so, too. All right, let's move on. Carrie gets everyone but Latrice and Leticia together to talk about how bad things are between Latrice and Leticia. And it's given, if y'all don't get y'all mind right, we might kick y'all out the collective because it's enough of us. We don't need y'all. And I'm not gonna lie, I honestly feel like people would be okay with them replacing any one of the girls, but specifically Leticia and Latrice. Because on some level, I feel like Latrice is going through a lot with her body, right? And Latrice is also, they've kind of figured out ways to cover up their lives, even though they have so much going on. And a lot of it is so manufactured that I could see Carlos and them, they're not going to do this because, they like to stay loyal to the women that come into these shows with them unless the women want to leave. But I do feel like Latrice and Leticia can be replaced. For people that actually want to show their lives and their relationships. Because I feel like there are people that would share more, right? And would, not be fighting and arguing all of the fucking time over the same shit. Get over this so we can move on to the next thing. Bitch, this is a reality show. This is not real life. Y'all got to hurry up and get over these things. Y'all got to hurry up and get over this shit, man. And so Carrie wants to do therapy. But no one has faith in Carrie, right? Everybody got something negative to say about Carrie trying to make everybody get along. And I'm just kind of like, I'm here for it. Cause otherwise, what the fuck y'all gonna do? If y'all don't have Carrie, trying to bring everybody together, get everybody together. Like if y'all don't have her doing it, then who gonna do it, girl? Who gonna do it? Cause we see what happened with Selena get everybody together, girl. Like, come on. Leticia is at her bail bonding job. Now, mind you, once again, you got a job, but you ain't got no bank account. So that meant your check was going into Glendelle's account. Is that what's happening? Is that what's happening, Leticia? Like Selena wants to get back into bail bonding. Child, Selena is another one of them women that's been hustling all my life. I had to all my life. Cause they just but I appreciate it though because it's women that's like, I don't like working no fucking job. So I'd rather have a whole bunch of certifications, which means I can basically work for myself versus like, having to deal with people. I think that's better for black people specifically because unless we shrink ourselves, like the microaggressions that we have to deal with working around other people all the time is just so stressful. Like I really see why being an entrepreneur for some black people is their best bet. Because like who the fuck feel like dealing with this from y'all? Ugh. Just girl. You know what I mean? But anyway, Leticia and Selena talk about her coming to therapy. She's apprehensive, but she coming because Leticia want her check. Like, shut up. Matt meets with Cliff. He knows that Glenn got involved in the fight with Leticia and Latrice. Somebody had to hold somebody had to hold Glendelle back at some point. And I'm like, I don't feel like they was holding him back, but I do feel like it didn't seem as if he was going to actually bring any order to the situation, right? Because he performs masculinity, which means it's not actually like in there for real, if you ask me. Like he has to perform his masculinity. Glendale a lot of the times comes off like a child. And if he doesn't come off like in his conversations with other men, he sometimes sounds like a child to me. And then when he talks to Leticia, it's like I have to pretend like I'm a big adult. And even though this is the woman that's mothering you, to her, you try to pretend like you have your shit together and you're a man and you're in control. But when you talking to other men, all of a sudden you become a submissive. It is very interesting to watch. I'm just saying. I also feel like Cliff was more amicable to Matt, not only because Cliff has seen himself in previous seasons and has decided to change up, right? Also, Latrice is sick, so I think that old niggas like him, girl, you can't go nowhere, you can't do nothing. That's the best time for them to show up. Okay, girl, you can't go nowhere, you can't do nothing. Your legs fucked up, you got blood clots. I choose you because you even more entrapped. And men like Cliff, I think, like you to be entrapped. You know what I'm saying? Entrapment, okay? Uh but Cliff says that they can be cordial, but they can't go back to the way they were. The Bells need to talk, and if the Bells talk, then maybe the men can get back cool. And Cliff said his wife got a lot going on with her health, and he would rather lose Glendale than to stress out Latrice. And I'm like, now the funny part about that is this is the first time that he said that or shown that. This is the first time because previously it was not like that at all. And he made me feel like he was performing that on this show as well. Like there's a part of me that feels like Cliff is full of shit when he says that. Um, I think this is a good opportunity for him to make things right with Latrice so she doesn't leave his old ass, right? Because there is a piece of him that might fear that she will leave. But I feel like Latrice is just gonna wait for him to die. I think that's what the goal is to wait for him to die so that you can have widow money. There's nothing better than a wife like a widow. Okay, if y'all thought being a wife was something, girl, really it's being a widow. Like, oh, especially with a nigga that you didn't struggled a long time with. You was married to him for 15, 20 years, girl, and he dead. Oh my God. Wear black for the rest of your life, girl. Get sympathy from everybody. So Marie and Leticia ride to therapy together, and Leticia feels confused about Glendale. Of course you do, girl. she wants to be independent, but thinks that they can work something out. And it's like, okay, well, I'm sure you'll drag us through watching y'all try to fit a square peg into a circle hole. I'm sure. Um, Selena, Latrice, and Tamara are all in a car together, and y'all, Tamara got a call that her dad had a stroke. And y'all, that shit made me so sad hearing her, talk about, like, just watching her on the phone. And she was like, put me on speakerphone, put me on speakerphone. And she was crying and saying how, I know if he hears my voice, he will fight to come back to me. And it was just sad. Like, you can tell that Tamara has a very close, I think what appears to be like a very loving relationship with her parents. And I just felt sad for her. I felt sad for her. I think it's very hard dealing with your parents aging or even them passing, right? I almost feel like my dad dying like he did was like the best way for him to go because it was unexpected, so to speak. But then also because, it wasn't like I had to wait because he was sick and he was sick, but it wasn't like we thought he was going to die. Like we thought he was going to live. I don't know. Like right now, sometimes the stress of knowing that my mom is going to go, like sometimes that shit it's almost like dragging it out to a certain extent. Like you have to really not think about it because once you lose one parent, it's almost like you feel like you're waiting and you're trying to do things to prepare yourself for it in some ways. I hate to get morbid, but like I'm somebody that has a comfortable relationship with death, but my mom is somebody that I know it's going to be so hard. Like I just know it. I know it's going to be so hard cuz of how connected I feel to her. So, yeah, I just can't imagine. I can. That's the problem. I can absolutely imagine it. Okay? Cuz I miss that fuck ass nigga daddy of mine all the time, okay? God, do I miss this nigga. Like, just cook. Just cook and be cool by the pool, fool. Stop talking to people crazy. Just cook. I think if he wouldn't have died, maybe he would have just cooked. And we wouldn't have fought as much anymore. I do miss him, though. So, Tamara ends up going back home so that she could be with her family. They get to Carrie's, and the Bells have to deal with their issues. So she brought in a relationship therapist because, child, anytime somebody ring the doorbell at Carrie house, somebody come and try to help y'all move some shit around. And I appreciate her for that because I think often Black people, yeah, they've allowed for white people to put so much in their minds about what to be afraid of that anything that might actually help them heal some of the things that harm them, they're afraid of it. And I feel like that should kind of turn on something in your mind. Me personally, I feel like when it comes to spiritual shit, I know everybody thinks that, I don't know, I go back and forth because I feel like people feel like things can just attach to you. And even though I feel like on some level that might be true, right? I got a past life regression. I know that spirits, people feel like spirits attached to people and all of that type of shit. But I don't know how I feel about that because sometimes I feel like nothing can affect me if I decide that it can't affect me. And that goes into spiritual shit as well. And maybe it's me just feeling that, I'm more powerful over myself than anybody else is over me, right? And so I feel like people might be trying sometimes spiritually to come for me, but I also feel like I'm like so protected that I don't feel like they can. Like, I feel like I'm squad up deep with ancestors and spirit guides and shit, and my oneness with myself. So I just kind of feel like it's harder for people to penetrate me. And so when it comes to exploring different forms of spirituality or just doing different things, I don't have as much fear. Because in my mind, you can't hurt me if I don't believe in whatever you believe in. Like that's how I think about it. So because of that, I would be more interested to do different things. Like I saw like the somatic shit and I'm like, I need to figure out how to get into that, just different ways of dealing with like even yoga. Like you've talked about, I mean, not you, we have talked about how people will try to demonize yoga. I saw a girl and I did not save the original clip. I only saw the response video, but there was a woman that made a video on TikTok like last week that went viral about her quitting her job as a psychologist because, she found the Bible. And I was just like, oh, girl, was there dick attached to it? Was there dick attached to it? Because I'm trying to understand why these two things can't work together. You know what I mean? Like it's weird. It's weird the way some people have allowed for racism and white people making you scared of everything to be scared of things that might actually help you. Yoga helps, stretching helps, being in your body helps. But if everything teaches you to ignore your body, then you're going to ignore being in your body. And then you're not going to really know how to deal with the emotions that you feel in said body. Okay? That's just my, my feelings on it. Whole time Jesus is a dead spirit, so to speak, but they scared of anything spiritual. No, that's another thing. I be like, y'all, even when I put it into like, for instance, I thought about this one day a long time ago, and ever since then, I've just been like, yeah, no, I don't want any crucifixes in my house. Um, they might be in here somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Lyric is a Christian, but I ultimately feel like I don't want somebody's like traumatically fucked up death commemorated on a necklace or on anything and put on my wall. Like when y'all think about, do you know how crazy it is to be watching somebody's fucked up ass crucifixion? Crucifixions were some of the worst ways that you could kill somebody. It disembowels people, first of all. So that means all of their bowels, they like the lack of dignity in the death, right? Then they suffocate from the way that they're, up there. And back in the day, Jesus was the only one I think that was nailed across like this. But historically, I think they were nailed up like that. And when your arms are up like that and you be basically being held up by the nails and your flesh is eventually going to rip. But before it does, you're going to be disemboweled, meaning you're going to shit and piss on yourself. All of your bowels will be released at some point. And then after that, or before that, you'll suffocate. You'll suffocate up there. So it's one of the most fucked up ways that you could possibly kill somebody, right? We was like, let's commemorate that. Yeah, I think we should paint it. We should put it on necklaces. We should put it on t-shirts. We should put it on everything we can find and sell it to people. And that way they'll always have reminders of how this nigga died for them, okay? And then they'll remember how fucked up the death was, right? Keep them in check because, look at this shit. This is terrible. You got to remind people of this type of shit. And I'm like, do we? Think about that, y'all. That's morbid as fuck. That is so morbid to walk around with some like the freeze moment of a nigga death on your neck. Like, just think about that, son. Just think about that. In what other scenario would you do something like that? If your mama died in a hospital bed, would you stop and take a picture of her right before she died and then put the picture up on the wall? No, you would not do that. You would not do that. You would not do that, y'all. I know we're just doing things that we're used to, but when you actually think about it, that shit crazy as fuck. Yeah, it's gruesome. It's so like, what? Then people drink his blood and eat his body. In him, with them. What's that? In with them and something in the unity of the Holy Spirit. All glory and honor is yours, Almighty Father, forever and ever. And then you do the Our Father prayer. And then after that, they pick up some of your money. And then you stand up and you go get the blood in the little wafer. And honestly, the things are very like, I'm not gonna lie. I always like communion, right? And that's because in my church, we give you real wine. In Catholic church, they give you real wine. They don't give you no motherfucking grape juice. And then we do it every Sunday. We don't just do it on the first Sunday of the month like they do in Methodist churches. Bitch. Every Sunday, if you went through catechism, okay? If you did your thing, if you did your catechism, you go up there, all right? You go up there with your hand, like we will go up without, I don't know where people get this from, that you have to do something special. But you go up there and you bow your head. They bless you. You know what I'm saying? Put the shit in your hand, pop. You go to the side. You know what I'm saying? You get you some wine. They wipe it. Okay, it's a golden chalice. You drink the wine. It's Morgan David, y'all. It's Morgan David Concord. I can't tell you. I might have been in my early 20s because I was still going to church, right? So I was like, I need to find this wine, girl. Morgan David Concord, okay? And they sell that everywhere. They sell it down to the Walmart. That's the Morgan David brand, child. That's everywhere. So they would get the Morgan David Concord wine, and that's the wine we would drink. So it was sweet. Girl, couldn't wait. Couldn't wait to go through catechism, get that little wafer and taste that sweet ass red wine that they be giving everybody. And then don't talk about when I was in, girl, I'm getting off topic, but we're going to get back to it. I'm sorry. But like, don't talk about when I was like in my teenage years, right? So, I'm hot in the puss. And y'all know what wine and alcohol will do to you, especially red wines. I feel like sometimes red wines will go straight down to your clitoris. I don't know what's going on. But there's nothing weirder than walking out of the line at your Catholic church after you got the blood of Jesus, and now all of a sudden your clit is throbbing just slightly because the wine, goes down and sends the blood all over the place, right? I'm being too honest. So let's get back to the show. God forgive me. That's something to feel bad about, right? You can feel shame about everything in Catholic church. Okay? Feel shame about everything. Then you're going to get down on your knees and pray and ask God for forgiveness for whatever you was thinking when you was, coming from getting that wine, and you go back in the pew and you pray. And until everybody done. When everybody is done and everybody get up off their knees from praying, we do the last selection, all right, which is normally a song that is set to either get you excited, get you crying. Matter of fact, fuck it. I'm going to church Sunday. I'm going to church Sunday. Listen here, okay? I'm going to church Sunday. Okay, because I heard my boy is the head of the choir now. Emeka is the head of the choir, and I need to go back. I need to go back and hear what be going. I only want to be there for that last song, okay? Nah, the first song be the one that gets you. Hallelujah. If you're happy and you know it, say amen. Amen. Happy. Listen, I miss my church. I ain't gonna lie. I love y'all. Yeah, I can't do it. But I miss y'all. And I'm gonna come back just to watch y'all sing, okay? Happy with Jesus Christ. Na, 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 na. Happy with Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. Happy with the Spirit falls on you, makes you shout, woo, hallelujah. If you're happy and you know it, then your life will surely show it. If you're happy and you know it, say amen. Amen. And then if everybody was feeling it, they might have to run it back. That's what the last selection is for. And the last selection is usually a really good slow song, right? Oh my God. Child, don't. Let's see. Somebody, True Praise is what I want to. No, that's Total Praise. For you, I want to offer you. No, that's True Praise. True Praise. Come on, y'all. Not for the crown that he's given as I try to run this race. I want to behold your face. I want to thank you for your saving grace. But most of all, I want to give you praise for the rest of my eternal life. I want to give you hallelujahs. Thank you, Jesus, and all your glory. Listen, don't make me do it, bitch. Now I got chills. I'm going to church. Okay? I'm not playing. I am not playing, girl. I'm sorry you don't know no church songs. That's sad. You need to go listen to the Clark sisters. Okay? I still love gospel music. Ain't no I can't do nothing about it, bitch. I get the chills. I feel it. I want to cry. Okay? Listen. Yes, yes. I do miss some parts. You can't help it. But black people are so tied to Christianity in the way they act about things. It really does like leave a bad taste in your mouth. And the way they respond whenever somebody, does something metaphysical, or even with therapy. Girl, shut up. You need some help, bitch. You need some help. Do some goddamn somatic breathing and shit. Now I'm singing it with you and my light just flickering away. Okay, Jesus. Okay. Being a part of the music ministry is definitely it is, y'all. It is. Hold up. See, you supposed to sing while you ask for donations. I don't know how y'all do it at the Catholic Church, but here's me hitting the thank you. You are. We have what I like to call a Catholic church at St. Peter Claver. So it basically is organized and it cuts off at the same time like a Catholic church, but the music and the people are black. And so yes, we pass twice, okay? And one of the times they pass is right after, or well, actually no, right before we do the Our Father prayer, and that's usually with a song. And then look how they get you. They put little children up there, like when the little children don't have to go to catechism, put the little children up there. Okay, have them holding the baskets, and that's the cutest thing, y'all. Using children to get money. Watching the little children run down the aisle with their little dollar in their hand, bitch. Okay, so you can see whose grandmother dressed their child the best, whose hair is done. Okay, here, take the dollar, go run down. Girl. We got to figure out a way to make that happen without it being connecting to whatever they be doing over there with the Christianity child, with the Catholicism and all of that. We got to find a way to create that same vibe, but just in a way that's freer. You know what I'm saying? Don't be trying to make me commit myself to your deity just because I want to come in here and sing a hymn and hold hands and cry and shit. Trying to make me commit myself to your deity. Okay? Listen, anyway, the girls get into it because that's all they're going to do is get into it. And Latrice says that people continuously come with betrayal. So how can she forgive? And Leticia feels like she can't give her the energy. Latrice says that she was never really her friend. And I tell y'all this all the time. Women that are in these types of relationships can't really be true friends to other people because their value system is not set up to value their relationship with you. The only relationship that will matter to them is the one with their man and sometimes the one with their kids. Those are the only relationships that these people actually care about, and that's sad. That used to be the way everybody thought was the right way to be, but it's not. The world can't move with you only caring about your nigga. Like, that's not a safe world for us to be in, girl, for you to only care about your nigga. Because other people in your life are important. Other energies in your life, other people, they teach you different things. Like, come on now. Latrice says, Leticia is a horrible person. Selena says that people are in her ear. And when she said that, I was like, now, I feel like Amanda is one of the main people that I think is always in Latrice's ear telling her that Leticia ain't shit. Meanwhile, you was doing the same shit Leticia was doing. Latrice says that her employees said that she called them and it escalates to bitch this, bitch that. The expert says, listen to the way y'all are speaking to each other. And that's the thing. Because Latrice was the first one to yell out bitch. And I was like, you can't have this conversation without taking it there. And that's because everybody is too scared to be honest about what their emotions are. Right? To me, Latrice, you acting like you're angry and it's bitch this and it's bitch that, but really your feelings are hurt because then you burst into tears. Why can't you just express how you feel, say what it is, and then either move around or make up? Move around or make up. I don't understand why we can't do either one of these things. And then if you make up, then you still can handle her in a different way, right? You still could not trust her in a certain capacity because now you have more information. That's fine. But it doesn't have to be, I can't stand her, bitch this, bitch that. Like, it don't have to be all of that. It just doesn't. But both of them end up crying. And that's because Leticia is really, and I'm going to say this because I really feel like something the women in my family have mastered. I do believe that sometimes dark-skinned women, and y'all can tell me if I'm wrong, but dark-skinned women will sometimes play up the the crying or the feel sorry for me shit as a counteraction to how people view them as more aggressive or less soft as dark-skinned Black women. That's the only reason I'm saying that is because when I think about like my mom, my aunt, okay, Leticia, just some other women that are like very pretty dark-skinned women, so they have like men after them. They will a lot of the times, and I think all women do this, but specifically in these situations, I think they do it because they know the way the world perceives them. So they overplay being a damsel in distress. That's what I mean. And Leticia does this all the time. And I feel like she does it more than Latrice does it. Like, even in the confines of Latrice's, what I feel like is possibly an abusive marriage, she still got her own business, still got her own bank account, bitch. Like, what the fuck? And that's why I said I feel like at some point it is like it is a need to perform being the damsel in distress. And Leticia Pearson just reminds me of that type of woman. Yes, to portray softness. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like, they want to play that up as much as possible because people don't view them that way. And I understand it, but I feel like that's not the appropriate response because you end up putting yourself in situations where you're at the behest of men who should not be able to control you in that way. Those men can't even control themselves. They can't handle controlling themselves as a man and you as a woman. It don't matter how much they try. They really can't handle it. Because if they was to be doing your job and their job, they could not do it. But they want to control you so that they can make you do more shit while they do less shit. Yeah, nah. Girl, no. Okay? Yes, I feel like on some level it's overcompensating for their perceived masculinity. Yes. And this is not like a testament to all, but just something that I feel like I have noticed because it's like they know they got sense. Like, they're not dumb. And a lot of the times they get men that are more generous or, they get men to handle so much shit for them that they don't have to deal with. And I get it. But you have to have a balance in that. You know what I'm saying? You have to have a balance in that. Colorism is thinking dark-skinned women play up their emotions to gain sympathy. That's not what I mean. That's not what I mean. But if that's the way you want to perceive what I said as, me saying Black women play up their, that's not what I mean. But if that's how you want to take it, then that's fine. To me, the colorism is the treating darker skinned women like they're not as soft. So in order to compensate for that, darker skinned women overperforming softness to their own detriment. That's the colorism to me. I don't know how I'm pointing it out is, colorism. But, okay. I'm not actually treating anybody differently, but okay. Think everybody got reasons for shit. Just like I think there are light-skinned women that think they pretty just because they light-skinned and that's what the world tells them. Doesn't mean it's true. I didn't think the acknowledgement was the same thing as being colorist, but okay. Anyway, so like I said, they was both crying. I don't know how they're going to resolve this, but it is very obvious that they care about each other and about whatever is happening with them. But when Leticia started crying, it made me feel like she was crying because Latrice was crying. And it's like, I can't let you outcry me. And I feel like I'm saying that because Leticia always starts crying. It don't matter whether she did it to the person or not. She's going to always start crying. And I do feel like she will weaponize her emotions in that way. I do. My bad. All right, y'all. I'm ready. Let's move on to Love and Marriage Huntsville. Okay, I had to blow my notes up, girl. Let me pull up that other one. Let me pull it up. Where? Do I not have a Love and Marriage Huntsville? I thought I did. This is old. I thought I had a new one, girl. Mm. Damn it. All right, hold up. Let me check my Cash App right quick because I wanted to see. Oh, it's working, you guys. Thank you, Marvetta. Thank you, Jamila. I love you. Yes, it's back working. Thank you, Cameo. I saw like people who were trying to send. Thank y'all. I appreciate y'all too. Okay. When strength shouldn't be viewed as tolerance and weakness should be viewed as the time to take advantage of someone. But I digress, but shouldn't be. Yes, exactly. Because that has to do with Glenn. The people place women, especially black women and darker tones, all that strong shit. Yes, exactly. And so there is like a opposite thing. Bondi, aka Suge Avery. Girl, why am I Suge Avery? I mean, on some level, absolutely. I read The Color Purple, girl. Let's get into it. So y'all, I'm not gonna lie. Trisha and Tisha's conversation kind of annoyed me. Tisha is always trying to slick shade people, and then when people like call her out on it, she acts surprised. What? And all of that stupid shit. Like you was trying to just because when she brought up the situation about people be saying that Ken be in these girls' DMs, and then you get mad when people do the same thing to you. Like when people bring up stuff about you and Marceau, you get upset. But this is what I've been talking about with Tisha since season 1. On season 1 of Love and Marriage Huntsville, Leticia was all in Mel and Martell's messy ass business, laughing, having little slick shit to say about Martell cheating on her. Then when everybody was doing it to her and Marceau, it's the public. The same thing Yandy says. It's the public. It's social media. It's not my fuck ass marriage on Front Street. It's everybody else. That's what they always do. And so when I saw the preview to when Marceau tells her we are the last people that need to be bone dropping and carrying bones and shit, I was like, see, this is why. This is one of the reasons why I always prefer to have male friends to female friends at one point in my life. Not now, but at one point in my life, I preferred it because I feel like even though men are manipulative, there are times when you can level with them. Tisha is like becoming the perfect example. Ain't that crazy? Right? Like a nigga will drive you crazy. And then when you become a bird, because he's been lobotomizing you for years. So now that you act like the bird he's trained you to be, he actually looks at you with like disgust and annoyance. And you become, like I guess a version of yourself that is really predicated on the way he argues with you. Because that's how Tisha shows up, y'all. Every time, y'all, oh my God, Tisha worked on my fucking nerves this episode. Okay, I'm sorry. Trisha and Ken have people saying that they're both in the streets. Ken went to stay with Will. I'm sure Will was very happy because that's what Will wanted in the first place, which was for Ken to leave Trisha and, maybe come by him. I don't know. But y'all know what I say about people who got, niggas who got braids, whatever. Not all, but I'm doing a case study, and if you got braids or cornrow and you get your lineup like lesbian baby hair, you are probably, I'm gonna say 90% a fuck nigga. 90% says you're a fuck nigga. Tisha says that you can't just leave when you're married, and I was like, yes, you can. Excuse me. Yes, you can, girl. Yes, you can. I remember people used to say that all the time. When you get married, you can't just leave when you want to. You can't just divorce quickly. But you can absolutely get up out of a house and walk out. You can. You can. You can leave and go stay somewhere else for a couple of days. You can. You can do that. If you don't want to have a conversation, you can just get up and walk out the house, go get in your car, and drive away, girl. Men do it all the time. So I think only women are the ones y'all tell that they can't just leave when you get into a marriage. Girl, yes, you can. Yes, you can. Not lesbian baby hair. Yes, like lesbian baby hair be lined up, straight across the forehead, like baby hair. And then also, but like a straight line, like a lining. Stefan Diggs hair, lesbian braids, okay? Stud shit going on there. The Fletchers, okay, so y'all tell me what y'all think. Do y'all think that because I sometimes this is the same thing. I think it's a little bit of both, where you see the women, right? And the women are overly emotional. But women are supposed to be emotional and have chaotic energy. We're creators, right? We got a lot going on. We're on a 28-day hormone cycle, bitch, right? We got a lot of shit. That mean I should be dragged out, right? We feeling everything way more. That's just how we are, okay? The thing that really works is when you find men that understand how women are and can just work with their energy versus trying to manipulate it, right? Just work with it. And if you can't work with it, let it go. The Fletchers seem to be a couple that can do that, but in this scene, I didn't know how I felt. They lost the program director at the nursery. We know that the nursery is actually Nell's business, but because they are a marriage and a family, it's their family business, right? Also, her dad is living with them. So that means an elder person in the household that she's taking care of. They have a nice size house. So I'm sure, it doesn't feel like everybody is all on top of each other. You have the room, whatever. But that's still an extra stressor. They have 2 new granddaughters. So now you got to be good grandparents to 2 new grandbabies, right? Lance is too busy to help with whatever Nell needs at the nursery. And Chris is like, now, why is it that when you need him, you show up? I'm sorry, when he needs you, you show up. But now that you need him, he can't come through for you when you need him to come through for you. And she says, I guess it's because he feels like, well, mom has dad. And he's like, well, does he feel like because my real estate license is revoked right now that I should be the one doing, the construction work that needs to be done? And I felt like, well, nobody said that, Chris, but if that's what you came up with in your mind, you're probably feeling away. Like you're probably feeling insecure and not feeling really steady and stable in yourself, and then trying to perform that you feel okay. That's why I feel like a lot of men be fucking up. It's not that we want y'all to fall apart and cry like a bunch of bitches, but we do want y'all to be able to say, I'm having a hard time right now, right? And y'all don't do this because nobody teaches men to sit with themselves so that they can communicate what they need, right? Instead, y'all do the stoicism shit where you keep it all in and it feels like you kind of want to choke yourself. That's what it feels like. You're choking yourself by not saying things and not dealing with things. And then you do passive aggressive bullshit like Chris did in this moment, right? So Chris in some way fucked up with this license being revoked. I thought it was because of the shit that happened with Destiny and oh boy who went to her house and all of that. But I'm not sure if it was that or something else. Not sure. Y'all let me know if y'all know down in the comments. But it's going to take maybe a year or two, maybe, we don't know, in order for him to get his license back. Nell is like, oh no, I don't have 2 years. I need you to hurry up and get your shit back together expeditiously because now you eating out of my shit. Like now you coming on my end and I need my end for the stuff that I have to deal with, which I understand. They also have a cleaning business. They own other properties, right? So if you have all of this other income that you could possibly utilize, why are you being stressed out behind what's going on? What is it that you need that you can't just calm down, make this shit work, and just, and deal with what you can? Like hire new people if you need to hire new people. But I feel like Nell is always just, oh my God, I can't deal with this. Oh my God, it's too much. But then you just keep adding shit to your plate instead of saying, no, I can't do that. That needs to go somewhere else because I can't handle that right now. So she's an overload and she feels like Chris is unbothered. And that's what I was talking about, this whole performing that nothing's wrong, even when you're stressed out. But he feels that he has to keep it together as a man. So now the nursery is his backup. They have another business about to open and they have their cleaning business. That's another thing. She's about to open, I guess, some clothing store or something. I'm not exactly sure, but I'm like, why is she opening a clothing store like right now if you're so stressed out and you have so much shit going on? Girl, I don't know, but I do know that people be wanting to accomplish certain things even when things get hard. So if you really want your store to come out, fine. But it's given y'all are not really in a situation where he can't be unbothered. He's older anyway. The man should have been able to retire by now, mostly. So if y'all still have other things that bring in money, I don't see the reason for him to be acting all upset. Like, what do you want him to be doing? Running around the house with his head cut off or some shit? I didn't understand what she wanted in that moment. And that's the reason why I say, like, I do understand sometimes when men are talking about women being overly emotional. Because, girl, you need to learn how to regulate your own emotions and deal with what you need to deal with instead of like Nell tends to do. But anyway, um, she says that she, because she was like, I don't know why you feel like you can just claim ownership of the nursery when you going through a hard time. I didn't have that same type of ownership over your brokerage. And he says, well, you don't have a brokerage license. And she's like, and you don't have the certifications to have a daycare. Like, what do you mean? What's the difference? And it was the way he said it, almost as if what you do is easy. You know what I'm saying? I can come and do something at your business, but you don't have the expertise to do what I was doing, so you can't do what I was doing. And I just kind of feel like that's what she read as being dismissive. And I think on some level, I think she must feel like you've always kind of, played my business like it was something that you could use and be proud of, but something that was not as hard as what you were doing. And now you need my business. And there's this cavalier attitude like, oh, well, I don't have a job right now. And yeah, I might have fucked up my license and all of that, but I'm just going to use your business in order to make sure we stay afloat. And I just kind of understand why she felt like, hold up, nigga, wait a minute. You a little bit too relaxed, especially when you're not helping. And so with her being upset, Chris does understand this much. Chris does understand how to respond sometimes in a moment. So even though I felt like he was being an asshole a little bit, it was more of a passive aggressive thing than him actually feeling like, he is smarter or his work was harder than hers. I don't think he actually feels that way, but I do feel like he wanted to create a little dominance in the moment because what it feels like is you a nigga with no job and now your wife is handling another thing. Another thing because you fucked up and ain't got no job. So in order to make himself feel better about that, he needed to try to make it seem like whatever she does is not that hard and he can just jump in on it. And the truth of the matter is Lance is not wrong. Why does Lance need to stop what he doing with the business that pays him if he has a fucking daddy with no job that can do the shit himself? You want to take money out of that lady's pocket with that nursery? Go over there and fix whatever the fuck she needs fixed. Like you said, your license is revoked. What you doing? What you doing? And she says, listen, I need you to get me some new employees to help me. That's what I need. Okay? And then, she walks off and she's all emotional and shit. And he's just sitting there like, bitch, making my head hurt. But yeah, son, you have to do more. You have to actually show up as someone that's helpful and not someone that's just ready to eat off of that table because you fucked up yours and you not really in no rush to do whatever you need to do to fix it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's kind of what it came off. Nell needs to be on Lexapro. Yes, she needs to be on something. I don't think it's her being overwhelmed. I think that's her default setting and she doesn't know how to be any other way. Yes, it does give you too old to not know how to handle your own stress and how to not overload so that you can handle whatever it is. Because I was just like, so you got other properties. Y'all have a cleaning service and you about to open another business. Why are you acting like this man not having a job mean y'all gonna be, living pillar to post or something like that? There, like, to me, I just wouldn't allow something like that to upset me unless I actually am looking around and I don't have the money for something that needs to be paid. I don't understand what the problem is. And you do need to be more assertive. Well, actually, because Lance doesn't have time, do you mind coming over and fixing what I need to get fixed? Like, what we doing? Moving on. Maurice and Kimmy. So they're preparing Monster for college. I love the way Kimmy is the one that seems to be preparing Monster for college. I know Maurice is so happy that he decided to stop fucking 6 women in a day and go on ahead and tie himself down to Kimmy so that she could help him raise his son while he was in high school and send him off to college. That way he can, pretend as if he was a good present father just because his son came and lived with him. Yeah. She thinks they will benefit from therapy. They are in therapy. And he says, yeah, we'll be in therapy until I'm fixed. And I'm like, girl, you going to keep letting that nigga waste your time like that, huh? Listen, people learn the lesson when they learn the lesson. And sometimes in the life, they don't ever learn the lesson. I think Kimmy is not learning the lesson. She processed him saying that he wants to be happy, even if they are not together. And she thinks that he shouldn't have told her that. He should have kept that to himself. And this is my thing about Kimmy. Kimmy always wants him to not say something that hurts her because she thinks he's just saying something. Why do you not want to know the truth of the situation so that you have more information? You can make a more informed decision. But it's like you don't want to make a more informed decision. You want to be blind. You want to pretend. You want to be delusional. And then she talks about how happy they are together and how happy they are in their relationship. And she doesn't understand why his attitude is not to fight for what they have versus telling her that she will find whatever she needs with somebody else. So I want you to be happy whether we're together or not. It's because Monster is about to go to college. Even him saying, now we'll really see if we can be together. To me, it sounds like he is okay with y'all breaking up now that the job is done. Monster is going to college. The job is done. And to me, the fact that that would even be a conversation right now, I'm just annoyed at the way these women allow niggas that are just not smarter than them to play them like this. All because you think that they actually love you. When if you actually, if you look at it, if you look at the way they treat you, if you look at the things that they say, if you look at the actual actions of what's happening and not just the feelings and not just what's being said, but what's being done, that you will see that where's the love? Where's the love in forcing somebody to have sex with you when they're going through chemo? Where's the love in saying that you appreciate somebody, girl struggling through sex, bearing it while you going through chemo? I just don't understand Kimmy. And I really feel like she needs to dig more into her abusive relationship with her father. Because once she does that, this should no longer be a thing for her. Because to me, you're just repeating the cycle. Because somebody ain't knocking you upside the fucking head or because they're not screaming at you doesn't mean they aren't abusing you, Kimmy. Kimmy, he's abusing you. Psychologically, emotionally, he's abusing you, sis. I don't know when you're going to want to deal with that and be honest about it, but you didn't choose better than your dad. I know you think you did, but you didn't. He says, why not? Why not tell the truth about how he feels? She's a great person and he wants her to be happy, even if it's not with him. And she doesn't understand why he doesn't want to just tell her that we'll fix it and we'll fight to, because he wants to play games with you, because he wants you to feel scared that he's going to leave you. And the only way to fix that is to not give a fuck. That's the only way to fix it. That's why I love being a Gemini sometimes, because once I have something in my head, I can pretty much convince myself of it, especially if it makes sense. If I was in her situation, then I would probably have understood a long time ago that this nigga wasn't what I needed to do. But just based off of how he acts and the things that he says, I'm going to believe the person that you show me that you are. I'm not going to believe a fairy tale that pops up every once in a blue moon when you scared that you might lose me. And if I feel like you stressing me out, then I'm not going to be scared to lose you. That was something that I might have done in my early 20s. But as an almost 40-something-year-old woman, and Kimmy is almost 60, like, girl, you don't need to be letting any man have you stressed out like this, where you said it's like pulling teeth to get him to be thoughtful. And then he turns around and says and jokes that opposites attract, which you were really upset about because he doesn't give a fuck about anything that you need from him. When she talked about how she's very thoughtful and when she tries to tell him how he can be thoughtful, he pushes back. His natural inclination is not to do anything for you, but to get as much out of you as possible. That's why you get pushback, girl. And then he says, you don't ask much of me. And then I turn around and I say some dumb shit and it, stays with you for way longer than I feel like it should. And if us not being together, he didn't say that, but he's basically saying, if you not being with me means that you're not getting hurt like this, then that's what I would want. But I'll work on it. I'll fix things. And to me, this shouldn't even be a conversation at this point. You shouldn't be talking to him trying to convince him of anything. And you're trying to convince him. Stop trying to convince him. At some point, it needs to just be either or. I don't know why she hasn't gotten to that point yet, but this is a lesson for all people and all women. I say all people because men be in relationships like this too sometimes. Okay? But if somebody thinks they about to keep threatening you with leaving and all of that shit, man, all right, go. But stop being scared and stop letting that Jedi mind trick work where they make you afraid that they're going to leave you. And that's supposed to mean that you just shut up and take whatever disrespect, whatever discomfort you may be feeling. You need to just swallow that and deal with it, or you're going to lose me. And I feel like whenever women are in those situations, they need to flip that shit. Okay, well, I don't give a fuck. Go cheat, leave, whatever. And that's what I'm saying. Cut all of that shit, them strings that they use to control you and your emotions. Stop it. Stop allowing that shit to control you. I wish a nigga would. Oh, I'm a girl. Bye. Bye, girl. Destiny meets with her dad and her godmother at the bingo hall. And she, talks about her baby is at church with the nanny. The way she said it was like she had a lot of money. And I'm like, girl, we know you ain't got a lot of money like that. Stop making it seem like you had the nanny down to the church with your baby. Girl, is the nanny at the church? She just kind of said it in a way like, oh, the nanny came and got the baby and now they're going to church and then they're going to, and then they're going to drop the baby. Girl, is the nanny at the church? Is the church the nanny, girl? You know what I'm saying? It's a good church, though, if that's what they offer. They offer childcare down to the church. It's a good church. So she found her brothers and sisters. Apparently, she has 6 siblings besides herself. And it's only because her older brother, Terrell, died. Her mom, Rhonda Joe, had 8 children. Her mom was on crack and just could not shake it, right? And she had Destiny and Terrell until Destiny was 5. And then the rest of the children were taken away from her immediately. So she says that she's going to meet with all of them. And it was actually a miracle that she found the last 3. And so they're going to all meet together with Rhonda Joe and, have a family reunion on a reality TV show. That's going to be so messy and so fun. Her dad was saying how shocked he was that she started doing drugs because she was somebody that would throw his alcohol down the toilet. And I was like, yeah, that's crazy. That's really crazy. But I feel like this is so often the case that women like Destiny who are, I don't know how to explain it, but Destiny does this. Like I can turn off my emotions. I don't give a fuck. But then also be very overly emotional and controlling in some respects sometimes. I don't know, but it's something about women that don't have good relationships with their moms. Like I think it just kind of reads through. It bleeds through. You can just see it. Like there is a shut offness, a coldness. I can't really get that close to you. And it's because nobody was ever really close to them the way they're supposed to be. Like 5 is like you just now starting to actually collect your memories. So her mom was not there with her from ages from 6 to 12, where you're actually building the self-esteem of the little person. And that would have been the time that you're supposed to be loving on your daughter to teach her that a woman can be safe for her, right? Yeah. She didn't get that lesson. And so I feel like it makes so much sense how she ends up in some of the situations that Destiny ends up in, Yes, very like emotionally detached. So y'all, let's get to Martell's stupid ass. Martell says that he's in a new relationship and life is good. So he wants to meet with Chris and Ken and they sit down and talk at the car wash while they're getting their car serviced. And I'm trying to figure out what new relationship is Martell in. Is Martell in a new relationship or is he talking about Ariane? Anyway, Martell says that he tried to hit up Destiny about some real estate business, but she didn't answer him. And basically that was an easy $15,000, $20,000 that could have went into her pocket. Chris talks about his license being suspended for trying to help someone, and it ended up, what he feel like being a setup. I wish he would be like, straight up what would happen, but I feel like he said he can't legally. I don't be believing people when they say that on these reality shows. Like sometimes you can't talk about something, and then other times y'all saying that because y'all don't want us to know whatever the stupid shit that y'all did because y'all are embarrassed about it. That's what it feels like more than anything else. But Martell, asked Chris how he gonna feed his family, and he laughed like, nigga, I don't just do real estate. I have another business across the street talking about the nursery. And he says that his wife doesn't realize all the things that he does because she's already so stressed out. And I feel like it's not that she doesn't realize the things that you do, Chris. You're not doing enough compared to how much she's doing. What's actually happening is you're not realizing how much she's doing, which is why you think that you're doing a lot. Because if you knew how much she was doing, then you would know whatever you're doing is not nearly enough. And I think a lot of men don't be, you got to tell them, nigga, you're not doing enough. I do this, and this, and you do this and this. And sometimes you might have to do this and this. But ultimately, on a everyday basis, I'm doing this, or a weekly basis, I'm doing this, and this. So if you really want to help, if you really want to say you're doing a lot, you need to take some shit off my plate. And if you're not taking nothing off my plate, then what exactly do I have you for? Okay. So we talk about how Ken moved out of Trisha's house. Good. He said the energy wasn't good. Good. You needed to get out. Okay. Martell says that he needs to find a woman that doesn't have kids and a woman preferably that doesn't have a husband. And he says if he had a choice, then he wouldn't be with a woman with kids. That felt like shade to Ariane. Especially because Martell, you're a man with a lot of kids. Shut the fuck up. Martell tells him that he needs to get like a 27-year-old woman. And Chris says, why? So he can control him? And he was like, yeah, you need to control them or they're going to control you. And that's how most men feel. Most men feel like if they're not dominating you, then you're dominating them. And my God, they can never allow for you to get an upper hand over them because you're a woman and you're beneath them. That is how most men think, even if they won't actually say it. Okay? And once you realize that, you have to check those moments where they're trying to dominate you for that reason. Because who the fuck are you playing with, nigga? Chris says, yeah, that doesn't work, Martell. You trying to control other people never works because people are their own people. You can't make somebody else do something that they don't want to do. And Martell jokes about when he get married, the next woman he get with, he gonna lock her down. She can't go nowhere without him. And I'm like, nigga, you're acting like Mel was the one that cheated on you and had a baby. You cheated on her for years and had a baby. You were the one outside. Why are you projecting to this extent? We can all see you. You cheated. She didn't cheat on you. You cheated on her. I know you like to lie and say that to everybody, but the truth of the matter is your relationship is over because of you. And any woman that gets into a relationship with Martell so that she can let that goofy ass nigga that can't pass an open book test control her, that hoe slow too. Pray for him, y'all. Pray for him because they mamas don't be setting them up for success. All right? You can't depend on niggas. Your mama the one that got to set you up for success when it come to some shit, okay? Because my God on today. Kimmy invites Leticia to her Taco Tuesdays. Y'all, this conversation was so aggravating. Leticia is working with another residential broker instead of Kimmy. And this is what the fuck I be talking about. Leticia can bitch a fit about loyalty all the time, wanting people to lie and make themselves uncomfortable so that they can prove that they are loyal to Leticia. All for Leticia to turn around and pick another person to go into business with when it comes to real estate. It's not even smart. And Leticia, I do feel like you deciding to pick other women to use as your real estate broker when you could have used Kimmy is passive aggressive. And I'm sure that in your mind, Kimmy did something that made you decide that you didn't want to actually help her or do the business with her, even though it would have been better because y'all are both on Love and Marriage Huntsville. So if y'all had done something together, honestly, had y'all decided to maybe open up a business together and start working together, exclusively, that probably would have did really well for both of y'all. But y'all are so worried about niggas that you can't see how working with each other might have been a really great thing for y'all to do because y'all are on this reality show together. Instead, Tisha goes and finds other women to promote and work with instead of Kimmy. And I know Kimmy felt played because Kimmy is one of them people that is loyal for loyalty's sake. She has definitely, I think, got involved in Leticia's beefs so that she could prove that she's loyal to her. She did it right here with Destiny because I was just like, girl, I don't know why you have a problem with Destiny getting out of a car. But every time you turn around, Tisha is trying to hem somebody up about loyalty and you standing behind her like, yeah. And that's embarrassing. That's embarrassing for you, Kimmy, as the person that seemed to have more self-control, the person that seemed to be smarter. You always standing beside her is quite pathetic. especially when she turn around and go pick somebody else to be her residential broker instead of you. So Destiny shows up, and we have to talk about Destiny getting out of the car again. We've already talked about this. Destiny has already apologized for getting out of the car. They were on their way to a vineyard, and Leticia and Kimmy were both kind of pressuring Destiny on how to deal with the situation between Nell and Leticia. You want her to pick your side. You don't want her to see Nell's point of view. You don't want her to be like, well, I see where Nell is coming from, because then that means that there's something wrong with you, and you don't want to feel like that. So instead of living in a discomfort that sometimes your friends aren't going to agree with you, you would rather continuously bitch about it until you bully them into changing their mind the way you did Kimmy. Because that's what they did. They bullied Kimmy until Kimmy dissolved her personality into the Scots. And so whatever, is going on with Tisha, she's going to go along with that because she's a Scot. And so now she has no real voice of her own or no real personality because she has to be a part of Scott 2.0, which is a derivative of Scott 1.0. That's sad. That's sad. You're a grown woman. That's really sad. We had high hopes for her, and it just girl crashed down to the ground. A pick me for a pick me. That's so sad. Tisha says that Destiny can't be in the middle and pick a side, and she feels like she was picking a side when she was defending Nell. Destiny said, well, when did I defend her? What did I specifically say? Well, I don't remember what you said. Well, I mean, if you're going to hold my feet to the fire, you should remember what I said. Oh, no, baby. I don't need to remember anything you say. First of all, I'm not your fucking baby. I wish that she would have handled her like accordingly. But when you actually care about somebody and you're not trying to argue with them, you don't always want to check them at every turn, because then y'all will never get through the conversation because there's somebody that's always passive aggressively trying to shade you. I would have been like, you don't need to talk to me like I'm a child. I'm not your baby. And you can't hold my feet to the fire about something that you can't actually explain to me that I did. I'm not responsible for your feelings, Tisha. I'm not. I'm not responsible for your feelings. You are responsible for your feelings. I acknowledge how you felt and I apologize. What else do you want from me? She wants you to continue to beg and prove that you are on her side. She wants you to say that I'm not on Nell's side, I'm on your side. That's what she wants you to say. Or she wants you to say nothing about how she acts. She don't want you to say nothing about it. And that's just not how any of this works. That's not how any of this works. Tisha is still mad, so Destiny needs to beg like a dog until Tisha feels better, basically. Tisha says that she's probably going to run and tell people that they were ganging up on her. And Destiny says, I'm a grown-ass woman. I don't need to run and tell anybody anything. I can have a conversation with you like I have repeatedly. Kimmy is making all of these little comments, but also seems to see that Tisha is dragging it. Like, girl, you want to talk about playing both sides of the fence? My God, I'm dizzy. Tisha doesn't want Destiny to continue to be on everybody else's side. Like, does your loyalty always lie with the people that you've known longer? Because you said you knew Nell longer and you said you knew Martell longer. So are you picking their side because you knew them longer? Like, just where does your loyalty lie? Whenever I hear grown-ass people having conversations, thank you, Jennifer. Every time I hear grown-ass people having conversations about loyalty, I always be like, what is happening? We're adults. To me, a lot of the times, it's not about loyalty. You want somebody that's a yes man. You want somebody that's going to go along with what you feel and what you say. And when they don't and they actively speak out in opposition of whatever you've said and done, then, you disrespecting me, you not being loyal. And that's childish. That's childish. You should be able to deal with the fact that your friends are not going to always agree with you and they're not going to always see your side of things, especially in something where both of y'all are being assholes. And to me, Nell and Tisha are both being assholes at one point or another, even though I will primarily blame Leticia because I think Leticia just likes to start shit with people because she's bored and she can't let her aggression out on her husband, so she has to let it out on somebody else. I think really Destiny can see that Tisha has something wrong in the situation and Tisha doesn't like that. So Destiny says that, listen, I apologize, but I'm not going to grovel and kiss your ass. And Tisha says, well, I don't want you to kiss ass, but you can acknowledge it. And she was like, I did acknowledge it. Like, so are you saying that I did not apologize to you at the winery? Now that she's holding her directly to the specific time we've already had this conversation, Tisha says, "Well, I don't want to answer any questions. If you're not going to acknowledge it, I don't want to answer any more questions because I just feel like you're defending Nell." Y'all, when I tell you she was exhausting, I cannot stand a person that wants to win an argument so much that they just stay in this like circular argument shit. It's like you will say, "I did though. It doesn't matter. I felt this way." Well, then that's your responsibility to deal with how you feel, Tisha. The girl already apologized. She acknowledged it. You're dragging it at this point. Like you're creating the issue. And then this was another thing that pissed me off that she did. She said, hold on. Tisha says she doesn't have to, but she can acknowledge it. And she's denying it by asking for the example of what she said when she says that Destiny defended Nell, and Destiny asked for what she exactly said that was in defense of her. You don't, you're like, "Well, y'all, you saying it, y'all don't remember, and y'all ganging up, and y'all doing this, and y'all doing that." And it's like, Tisha, you the one that said that she was going to run back and say that somebody was ganging up on her. She did not say that, but now you've added what you said she was going to say to the list of things that she said. Y'all saw how she did that? Destiny never once said, "Y'all ganging up on me." Tisha said it. Now, Tisha can create this issue and this narrative in her mind. In her mind now, Destiny said something that she didn't even really say. Kimmy says that Tisha is for them streets. I keep trying to tell y'all. And it's like, girl, what are you talking about? We've always known that Tisha wants to fight and tussle with people like Wanda, but doesn't want to come off as niggerish. She don't want to come off as humbuggish, so she does passive aggressive shit. But she just like her fucking mama. Tisha starts getting loud and flaring her nostrils with Destiny, and Destiny's like, "Why are you taking it there?" And she's like, "Cause you're interrupting me." Like, girl, I was talking. I asked you a question, and she was like, "Well, I don't want to answer your questions." And Destiny was like, "I feel like I'm being gaslit." And Tisha was like, "Now you being gaslit, ganged up on. You're going to be the victim too, girl." And I would have been like, "No, Tisha, because that's you, right? Because you always the victim, right? How you feel, your feelings, your marriage, you. How you feel all the time." Really, she need to tell her, "Baby, I'm not your mama. I can't coddle your emotions the way your mother should have when you were a child." That's the problem with Tisha. She does this with everybody. Whatever it was that Wanda did not give her emotionally, you did not secure your child emotionally, and it's because y'all don't think that's important, but it is. You did not secure Leticia as a young girl growing into a young woman. You didn't secure her. And so now she goes around to all of the women that she like has friendships with and expects them to do this. Like she expects them to have like this mothering thing with her. And it's just like, girl, it's not Destiny's responsibility to be mothering your emotions. It's not Kimmy's. Even though Kimmy has taken that position, that's not her job neither. It's nobody's job to baby you, Leticia. And you want to be mothered. Yes, you wanted Mel to mother you. And then when Mel actually took that position, you decided to shade her because you were jealous of the fact that she had more control and autonomy in her relationship. That's why you was throwing it in her face that nigga was cheating on her. I've been saying this since season 1. I don't give a fuck what nobody talking about, y'all. I don't care. From the very first season, you were throwing what happened with Mel and Martell in Mel's face because you wanted to nanny boo her. Right? Nanny boo boo, bitch. You thought you had your life together. You had the blueprint, but your nigga cheating on you. And then y'all got mad when Mel turned around and said, "Bitch, if my nigga cheating on me, your nigga cheating on you too. They be together." And everybody was like, Mel was just trying to drag Leticia's marriage down with hers. And I never agreed with that because to me, I always felt like Mel could have said way more. You could tell that there was so much that she actually did not say when it came to Leticia and Marceau's relationship. So yeah, Leticia worked on my fucking nerves this episode. And to me, what she did was like a perfect example of somebody that wants to fight with you and you don't want to fight with them. So they create the fight by making a big deal. And then when you respond, like, we already had this conversation. Well, you're not caring how I feel. And now you're saying that I can't remember what you said. So now you're denying it. So you apologized before, but now you're denying it because you're asking me what it was that you said. I would have been like, so you just want to be mad. You must be mad at Marceau about something and you just want to be mad at me. You know, sometimes I wish you hoes would be mad at these niggas so that y'all can stop coming to women with y'all bullshit. Thank you, Christian, for the super chat. Kimmy would rather suffer than admit that high yelling nigga wasted her time. It's sad. When I tell you, I was watching that scene and I was like, girl, all you gotta do is tell him so what. That's all you gotta do. So what? He do a little this, he do a little that. Girl, you need to go listen to some Sierra. You need to go work on that. Cause that's a damn shame. That's why you keep dealing with the issues you dealing with is because you haven't learned the lesson. You have got to have, you gotta have more pussy, Kimmy. Kimmy, you have got to have more pussy. Maurice is not the catch you think he is. And this is the reason why I don't like for men to think they're the catch and for women to think men are the catch. Because women end up in situations like this, being used and abused and still fighting for love. Thank you, Destination Sunrise. The fact that Destiny's mom is seemingly still on that end and she chooses to bring her on the show is exploitation at its finest. Absolutely. Destiny is definitely using everything that she can to get back on this show so that she can get her check because she was struggling, girl. I understand. I get it. It's hard out here for a pimp when you're trying to make the money for the rent. But a Cadillacs and gas money spent will have a whole lot of pictures on you. White House Transit, thank you for the super chat. When you talk about Leticia might wait for Glenn to die for the window money, I was like, my mind, I wasn't talking about Leticia, I was talking about Latrice. I was like, my mind, Leticia girl gonna be on first 48. No, I was talking about Latrice, not Leticia. Because y'all know Cliff old. Okay. That might be the reason why Leticia, but Leticia is in Mississippi, girl. You could be married to a nigga and not be with him and still get the insurance when he die. Just move out. Get your own bank account. Get a fucking job. Take care of yourself. Thank you, Lyricist Dean, for the super chat. How you doing? See, you supposed to sing while you ask for donations. I read this one. Thank you. Thank you. Michelle, thank you for the super chat. People are weird. Somebody tried to tell me yoga was bad for me and it invites negative spirits and energy. I was like, you're the negative energy. No, for real. Like that's, and I've heard people say that and I'm like, you're an idiot. Like, just stop talking to me. Let's see what else. CC, I think I read this one. Yes. Okay, I read all these. Thank you. Thank you so much, everybody. Okay, that's all I got for y'all today. I hope y'all enjoyed. I need to go and get my workout on, girls. So I'm gonna go. And tomorrow we'll do Married to Medicine, and Friday we'll do Members Only Love and Hip Hop. That's my maybe not. We're gonna fit it in though. I might do another 2-episode thing with Love and Hip Hop because sometimes it's just better to put 2 episodes back to back. But I'll be back, girl. Either way, Ooh Ladies First panel will be tonight on Nisi's channel. All right. I love you guys. Support the channel. You know what I'm saying? Support the channel because we're still trying to go to Thailand, girl. All right. Support the channel. And I'll talk to you later. Peace out.